wanted a universal remote. That remote controls your universe.
Making of. Click it. Is that my parents?
They're making you.
Get me out of here!
Adam Sandler can fast forward through the bad times and slow down the good times, all with the push of a button in Click. I'm Richard Roeper.
And I'm Roger Ebert. Click stars Sandler as a workaholic architect who's given a magical universal remote control that allows him to control his life just like a DVD. Now, this is a dangerous gift for a man who believes that his life is spinning out of control. He can pause, fast forward, even choose the chapter of his life that he wants to visit. When his wife, played by Kate Beckinsale, starts in about a canceled vacation, he finds out by accident how the remote works.
Do you really think you're going to have any more time for us, or are things just going to get even more out of control?
Wait. Just gotta give me some time. Don't give me that look. Just saying. Give me some support. All right, I love you. Go to sleep.
Just think about it, Michael.
It's basically sort of sad how he uses this remote in his life, but here's a funny scene when he plays with the picture settings.
Don't get the Hulk angry. You won't like him when he's angry. Oh, there's Barney.
His boss, played by David Hasselhoff, keeps promising him a promotion and then pulling it back again. That happens one time too many.
I spent money I don't have. To do these documents, it's gonna take me months.
And you better get started.
Wow, I just got a big headache.
The ads for Click make it seem like a terrific comedy, and it does have some laughs.
Oh, yeah.
But basically, Click is a sad parable about a man who starts out skipping the bad parts of his life and ends up missing his life itself. It's hard to laugh with a character who is manipulating other people for his own selfish convenience. Sandler's architect eventually figures that out, but he has to be taught the same lesson over and over again. And by the end, Click is less of a comedy than a depressing morality tale. Not even Christopher Walken, who plays the guy who gives him the remote, gets any laughs.
You're so right. Thumbs down for me as well, Roger. And it is kind of depressing. I think Adam Sandler's character should have used the remote to watch A Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life and Family Man and Bruce Almighty, all the movies that it rips off and not very well. And part of the problem is he's also a jerk to his kids and his wife, so you don't really root for him. And I think if you're going to have a David Hasselhoff type of character and you're going to have the flatulence type humor, then just go in that direction. Don't try to put all this sappy stuff. I mean, Adam Sandler, when he's called on to, like, cry and really be sad, you're not buying it. You're just not buying it.
Well, you know, the thing that I found in the movie is that basically they didn't take it to another level.
Yeah.
They said, oh, the guy has a remote control, he can control his life. So then they show him doing that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really build, there's no real sense of urgency that builds up. It doesn't become an emergency. It doesn't become funny. It doesn't become tragic. It just becomes a gimmick.
It becomes a gimmick. And, you know, Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey, who essentially had the same abilities, Roger. He could stop traffic, you know, and he did a lot of things for his own good. But then there was also this other thing where he started doing all kinds of good favors. I mean, basically, Adam Sandler has all the power in the world, and all he wants to do is fast forward past his life and get to the next part of his life. So, interesting concept that they just miserably fail with the execution. Thank you, my friend. Next up is Wassup Rockers. Now, when a colleague told me I was about to see a new film from Larry Clark, the director of Bullying Kids, I said, I wonder how many scenes will pass before we get shirtless teenage boys. That's one of Clark's rather disturbing obsessions. This film opens with just such a scene featuring an inarticulate 14-year-old skater who stumbles through an introduction to his life and friends. Wearing tight jeans and favoring punk rock, they basically live to skateboard.
And that whole, what'd you say? Nothing. You don't belong here.
Why? Because we're from South Central?
Yeah.
That trip to Beverly Hills is filled with adventures, including a visit to a rich girl's house. Everybody they encounter in Beverly Hills is a crude stereotype.
Oh, what the hell?
Hey, stop!
Let me go, mother...
Clark finds these skateboard punks a lot more fascinating than I do. He also seems to believe that a couple of them have such raw, sexually charged charisma that virtually every girl and woman, not to mention at least one man they encounter, wants to jump into bed with them immediately. There's also an offensive scene involving a trigger-happy action movie star who is clearly based on Clint Eastwood. In the world of Wassup Rockers, the skateboard punks are pure, free-spirited creatures, and everyone in the white world is either stupid, racist, promiscuous, or some combination thereof. Not only that, but the music sucks, the acting is weak, and the skating isn't very good. Big thumbs down.
Thumbs up for me, and by the way, I think that action star was supposed to be Carlton Heston, but never mind.
Okay, you might be right. Either way, it's offensive.
I'm surprised you didn't like this movie because you didn't recognize in it its genesis in your favorite film, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, please.
Because that's what it is. These kids
I don't think so.
Halfway across town using every possible mode of transportation. They have all kinds of adventures in which basically they're very good natured. They don't do drugs. They don't have guns. They don't steal. They gave us in trouble.
I don't think they're that good natured.
They are. They're lighthearted and cheerful most of the time, and they have some bad things happen to them. But essentially, this is Larry Clark's brightest film, his sunniest film.
Jeez,
and I enjoyed it because I really felt that he was identified with and interested in this teenage culture, not just the boys, but the girls too.
Well, first of all, Roger, I find it troubling the way he kind of objectifies these young boys and all these.
Objectify everybody in them.
Yeah, but you got a 14-year-old kid who's supposedly this, this great god. Everybody just wants to throw themselves.
No,
at him,
he's a great god to other 14-year-olds, and that happens.
And to middle-aged women, to gay artists, and everybody else who tries to bend them down. I think it's more. I think a better comparison might be to the Warriors. It seemed more like that, like this gang trying to get through the night. These kids roaming through various territories, trying to get home. I think the Ferris Bueller thing is nuts.
They're not predators.
Like
they're not predators. They're basically good-hearted kids who have a bunch of adventures, just like Ferris Bueller.
I'm glad you think those are good-hearted kids. They should come to your vacation home and spend a weekend. How'd you feel about that?
I don't think I would have very much to fear from them, to tell you the truth. Later in the show, Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves star in A Scanner Darkly, and next, one of the best movies of the year so far is on DVD in our Thumbs Up video segment.
Ebert and Roeper's Thumbs Up Video is brought to you by Nestle Raisinets. At the movies or at home, Raisinets.
Next year, I am going to Cancun.
Looking at movies new on DVD, The Hills Have Eyes, which got 2 thumbs way down. George Clooney in his Oscar-winning performance for Syriana, which got 2 thumbs way up. And Paul Walker in 8 Below, that was the Dogs at the South Pole movie, which got a thumbs up from me, but a thumbs down from that dog hater, Richard Roeper.
No, actually, I think the Dogs gave a better performance than Paul Walker in that film. Now, Roger, I got a pick for you. It's actually the HBO series Entourage, Season 2 now on DVD. I think you'd really like this. It's about this young superstar actor on the rise and his buddies, based loosely on Mark Wahlberg's experiences. And really the breakout star, though, from this show has been Jeremy Piven, who's been so good in so many movies, and here he plays this agent named Ari. And let's just take a look at this, because he's so good in this series.
But just don't throw away the idea of Aquaman.
All right, I don't want to end up doing
is coming in.
I don't want to end up doing the same role for the rest of my life.
He doesn't want to get typecast.
Look, there's the Joker, there's Batman, there's Spider-Man. They're all typecast as rich guys.
And you also get people like Mandy Moore playing herself and Bono playing himself.
Hey, Johnny Drama. Feliz cumpleaños, amigo.
A lot of stars want to be a part of this show. It's kind of an in-joke, movie within a movie kind of a thing.
Okay, my video pick this week is The 3 Burials of Melquiades Estrada, a great epic fable in the modern Western tradition and a personal triumph for Tommy Lee Jones. He directed it, and he stars as Pete Perkins, who runs a small cattle operation and becomes good friends with an illegal immigrant named Melquiades who works for him. Then Melquiades is shot dead.
You gotta arrest that fella who killed Melquiades.
Oh, really? And who the hell'd that be?
Well, that damn border patrolman, Mike Norton.
With what evidence?
You know damn well who killed Mel.
I don't know. Damn thing.
But Pete knows who killed his friend, and he kidnaps a border patrolman played by Barry Pepper and forces him to help return the dead man's body to his Mexican village.
Ask for forgiveness. Ask for forgiveness right now. I'll go to hell right now.
I don't believe in hell.
This movie won for Best Screenplay and Best Actor at the 2005 Cannes Film Festival, and it's in the great tradition of Treasure of Sierra Madre and the overlooked Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia.
I think it's a great film,
Yes,
Roger.
it is.
And Tommy Lee Jones, you're right, it's a triumph for him. And tons of great supporting performances, including Dwight Yoakam as the local law enforcement guy who just doesn't want to be bothered with this, this troublesome murder investigation. Very good film. Yes. So we got Entourage Season 2 and The 3 Burials of Melquiades Estrada. They're available right now.
Coming up next, Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder in A Scanner Darkly.
Unlike the legacy of inherited predisposition to addictive behavior or substances, this needs no genetic assistance. There's no weekend warriors on the deed. You're either on it Or you haven't tried it?
Well, I like it.
Robert Downey Jr. and Rory Cochrane played characters caught in a web of drug-induced paranoia in A Scanner Darkly. This is Richard Linklater's film version of the 1977 science fiction novel by Philip K. Dick. And as you can see there, it's filmed using something called the interpolated rotoscoping process, an animated technique devised by Linklater and Bob Sabiston. They shoot live action, then use that footage as the basis for a version that stands halfway between reality and animation. Keanu Reeves stars as an undercover cop.
Hey, Donna, do you like cats?
Drippy little things, moving along, about a foot above the ground.
Above? You mean on the ground?
That's Winona Ryder as his girlfriend. In a lot of the movie, he has a shifting appearance because he's wearing something called a scramble suit that makes it impossible for anyone to identify him, except, of course, they could say, hey, there's the guy in the scramble suit.
The scramble suit itself is purportedly made up of approximately 1.5 million fraction representations of men, women, and children in every variant, making the wearer of a scramble suit the ultimate everyman.
This is terrible.
Those characters in their lives are similar to the characters in Linklater's Slacker and Dazed and Confused, and their philosophical discussions remind me of his wonderful Waking Life. The movie probably involves more dialogue and less action than some people will expect. It's about the nature of a life where you can never be sure what or who is real. And the cop played by Keanu Reeves is so far undercover, he may not even know his own identity. The visuals give the film an additional eerie quality, and a note at the end by Philip K. Dick makes it clear he was writing about a world that he knew firsthand.
Yeah, I'm going to give it thumbs up as well, Roger, and you're so right. This is not easily accessible material. There are moments where not only does the lead character not know what's going on, but I'm not sure if we're supposed to know what's going on, and you have to go with it. And I think in this case, that rotoscoping, interpolated, whatever technique is effective and not just a gimmick, because it kind of gives us a little insight into the characters. There's almost like this pulsating rhythm to their hair and their bodies and their faces as they're talking. And also Robert Downey Jr. as this dark, drug-addicted middleman type of character. I mean, it's a brilliant performance, and I think seeing them in that venue instead of just regular live action might actually be an enhancement for the film.
Downey is on a roll right now, and he's making more movies than anybody else. And the nice thing about this scramble suit, which Keanu Reeves wears, is that he has many different faces and hairstyles and clothes shifting very quickly, and that's kind of him. Because in his own mind, he's all these different people.
Yeah, and you mentioned the dialogue too, and sometimes it's just going off and off, but you know people, especially some people who start their morning with a bong, and they and they're very smart people, but they have conversations that are basically just insane, but they're very interesting about being insane. Okay, next is wordplay, and Roger, I'm thinking of a 5-letter word describing a digit used to vote on movies. That's right, thumb. My thumb is up on this documentary, despite occasional fits of dryness and a very heavy nerd factor. I'm talking about the movie, not me. In docs such as Spellbound and Word Wars, we learn that not all child spelling champions or adult Scrabble champs fit the easy stereotypes. In Wordplay, the stereotypes are pretty much reinforced. The creators of the New York Times crossword puzzle and the hardcore puzzle-holics are extremely bright and preternaturally wonky.
Q is, of course, most commonly followed by a U. But there are a lot of exceptions. You have to be careful about that when you're solving, because otherwise you'll end up with the country Qatar or Q-tips or something like that.
Thank goodness we also get some scenes featuring celebrity puzzle fiends like Bill Clinton and Jon Stewart.
Never on Sunday star Melina Mercuri. You have to be old like I am to remember that movie.
Main arteries? How can that not be aortas? How can it not?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Come on! Bring it!
Wordplay doesn't have the emotional punch of Spellbound, which featured all those diverse and extremely likable kids. It's not quite as compelling as Word Wars because the Scrabble experts were more interestingly weird. Here we get lots of interviews with people like New York Times crossword puzzle editor Will Shortz, who's a god in his field. He comes across as scary smart, very nice, but a little dull. We do get a big championship match, but with the exception of a college kid from Indiana, there's not a whole lot to distinguish the contenders from one another. Still, I'm recommending Wordplay as a sincere and comprehensive look at the inside world of hardcore crossword puzzling.
I recommend it too, I really do. And you know what I liked most of all about the film is how they use graphics in order to visualize the crossword puzzles as they're being solved.
Yes.
Because to look at some guy filling out
that's one of the problems
wouldn't be very exciting. But at another time, all of their celebrities, like Bill Clinton and Bob Dole and Jon Stewart and
Mike Messina, the pitcher for the Yankees.
And the Indigo Girls
Yeah.
are all solving the same puzzle at the same time and all talking out loud. That's a great sequence. And then the finals, where the three finalists are on the stage, and everybody can see the big boards they're filling in, and they're wearing headphones, so they can't hear any clues from the audience. It's interesting. It is an interesting, and it's a very well-made film.
It's very well made.
That visually brings a lot of interest to this
I would say,
material.
Roger, visually, that big championship match, I might make a suggestion to Will Shortz, who's the guy behind that big tournament. You know, they have these guys writing on these boards, and it's kind of hard to see what they're doing. They should do like what they do with bowling now, where you can just do it right there, and it shows up on nice, high-tech graphics. I mean, it's so low-tech that it doesn't really lend itself.
Yeah, they're actually just writing on a board.
On a board,
Just
yeah.
like
so
it
do
looks
like,
like
you know,
they're
like with your
doing.
bowling score now. You see that right up there.
By the way, Will Shortz majored at Indiana University in his own custom-made subject, which was enigmatology.
That's pretty impressive.
It is. The Road to Guantanamo tells the story of 3 British citizens who went to Pakistan for a wedding, crossed into Afghanistan as tourists, and were arrested by Americans and sent to the notorious prison at Guantanamo Bay, where they were tortured for 2 years. They claimed to be innocent, and apparently the American authorities agreed because they were released without being charged, while 500 other suspects are still in prison there.
There's a hook on the floor. The leg irons are attached to the hook. Then they put your hands between your ankles at the floor and chain you to the hook on the floor as well.
They're under incredible pressure to confess. Sarah Stewart plays an American interrogator who claims to have video evidence that one prisoner was at a rally for bin Laden in Afghanistan.
I was working at Curry's throughout the whole of 2000. I wasn't even in Afghanistan.
I can see you on the tape in Afghanistan in 2000.
How can it be me if I wasn't even
Because
in the country?
I can see you.
The movie was co-directed by Michael Winterbottom and Matt Whitecross, and like some of Winterbottom's other films, it combines reality and fiction. The released prisoners, known in England as the Tipton Three, appear on camera to tell their own stories, and then they're played by actors who recreate their capture and torture. We wonder why they thought Afghanistan would be a good tourist destination so soon after 9/11, but apparently they were not terrorists or they would not have been set free. It's worth saying that the Guantanamo operation is in violation of American and international law, and it grows more cruel by the day as suspects are held but no charges are brought against them.
Well, I don't know if we know exactly what's going on in Guantanamo, but in the case of these 3 individuals, Roger, this is an amazing piece of work. You know, you're watching this and you feel almost, we know there's actors playing those 3 guys, and then we see the interviews, but the actors, it feels like there just happen to be a camera there recording it. It's so authentic, and it's amazing stuff. Yeah, it's stunning, and it's certain to spark a lot of discussion. But as a film, as a piece of art, I think it's a very important piece of art.
One thing I think they are guilty of is stupidity. I think it was really the wrong idea to go to Afghanistan after 9/11.
A lot of people in this movie make a lot of really bad choices. Okay, we'll be back, but first, a look at what's coming up next week.
You have no style or sense of fashion.
I think that depends on what you're...
No.
Next is a movie that made my skin crawl. This is Say Uncle, and it asks us to empathize with a man in his 30s who has a creepy fascination with children and is so out of touch with society that he's either delusional or mentally challenged. It's written and directed by Peter Page, who also stars as Paul, a gay artist who loves children.
It hadn't really occurred to me, but you might want to rethink this whole hanging around the playground thing. It's a little Lolita, don't you think?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It's just people might get the wrong idea. What idea?
Paul goes to the park to play with little kids. He gets a job at a toy store. He takes a little girl into the bathroom. He invites a neighbor boy into his apartment for a painting party, yet he's stunned when he's accused of being a pedophile. For that matter, Kathy Najimy's crusading mother is just as warped as Paul. He's sick. She's insane. I hated this movie. Big thumbs down.
Thumbs down for me, too. You know, it's completely implausible that either that he would really behave like this or that people would let him behave like this, because he's completely naive if he thinks nobody's going to notice it. And at the same time, Kathy Najimy's character is a trigger-happy bigot. So there's just nobody in the movie we like, and so I'm thumbs down with you. Okay, recapping the movies on this week's show. 2 thumbs down for Click. We split on Wassup Rockers. 2 thumbs up for A Scanner Darkly, which opens in 2 weeks. 2 thumbs up for Wordplay. 2 thumbs up for The Road to Guantanamo, and 2 thumbs down for Say Uncle.
When we come back, our thumb votes on other movies now in theaters.
You don't have to hunt for the best deals on the internet.
Just follow that little arrow to motel6.com. Bullseye.
The Fairly Odd Parents limited edition $50 Best Western travel card is yours free when you stay any 6 nights before August 25th. Visit bestwestern.com/TV for details.
Across the country and around the corner, your Good Neighbor Pharmacy is part of your community. It's nice to know there's a Good Neighbor Pharmacy close to you.
Sleepless twins. Jen can't fall asleep. Meg can't stay asleep. Now they take midnight anytime, even the middle of the night. Relax, sleep, and wake alert. Midnight, anytime.
Closed captioning for Ebert and Roeper is brought to you by...
Get off me! Ah!
Looking at movies now in theaters, Jack Black and Nacho Libre, which got 2 thumbs down. The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, which got a thumbs up from Roger and a thumbs down from me. And Billy Murray voicing Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, which got a thumbs up from Roger and a thumbs down from me.
You're a cat hater as well as a dog hater. That's it for this week's show, and until next week, the balcony is closed.